Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Steven at Gutter Pop Comics in Buffalo, New York, 1421 Hertel Avenue. It is a little after midnight on March 30th, 2022. So happy new comic book day, y'all. Each week we do a little video where we go through the week's new releases and show off what we've got going on for our regulars and our mail order customers. We update our website, gutterpopcomics.com, about a week after we post this video. And so we do that so our regulars and our mail order customers get first dibs on whatever you see here, so they don't have to fight with the whole dang World Wide Web every time a new release comes out that's hot or hard to get. So the big news this week is that we've got the cartoonists Jim Rugg and Nate Garcia coming from Pittsburgh and Philly, respectively, to promote their new comics. This is Jim's book, Hulk Grand Design. I got to read it over dinner this evening. It ruled. So we're really excited about that. That is Saturday, April 16th. Follow us on social media for more information. There's a Facebook event, all that kind of stuff. Nate's book, Muscle Horse, should be in soon. It didn't make it here in time for this video, but we'll be promoting it soon. We've had all of his other comics in the store. Hopefully we'll get to restock a bunch of it. Every week on our Instagram and Facebook, we post all of our new comic book releases. So those are good ways to keep in touch, keep up to date with all of our happenings. Yeah, so like I said, everything eventually goes up on our website, gutterpopcomics.com, but the week's new releases are currently only available, that's some last week's stuff, in the store, or if you contact us on social media. So pretty excited to get into this week's video. Thanks so much, y'all. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, for our self-published and small press comic books, before we get into Dynamite Diva, we've got our very own Gutter Pop Comics' very own Andrew Burgess has reprinted his Chaotic Neutral comic book. So Andrew originally published this in little 8-page chunks and recently reprinted it. We're going to be tabling at the Rochester Independent Comics Expo, and he's going to be there with his with this comic. This is the first half of the story. It's $10. He's going to finish it up. He may change the name, I guess. I guess there's like another comic book that is out or is going to come out soon that has the same title, but I think he should keep it. I think there's enough room for two of these. But yeah, so cop one of those if you haven't before. Happy to have that back in stock. I'm excited for him to finish that up. All right, so we got a bunch of comics from Stranger's Fanzine, published by Stranger's Fanzine. So Dynamite Diva, One-Eyed Wild Ride, created by Jasper Jubinville. Jasper was 18 when they published their first issue of Dynamite Diva, self-published their first issue. And then I think maybe the first two, and then Stranger's Fanzine, I think, published the third one. So they're like 21 now, and then have this like amazingly produced compendium of the first 3 issues with some like bonus content and fan art and pinups and stuff. So pretty amazing. But it's a super fun, trashy comic. Again, beautifully printed. Yeah, I think I listened to an interview with Jasper, and they're like influenced by Dick Tracy comics, which comes through. But then there's also like this, like, I don't know what their other influences are, but I get like Craig Gleason, maybe like Ben Mara, or one of the like the true edgelords or whatever. So, but it's all like filtered through. I mean, we've got like, you know, some great references and just some great like, yeah. So super fun if you're into like trash culture or anything like that, like John Waters or just anything, yeah, like, yeah, you know, that kisses the razor's edge. That is that is the comic for you. So we've also got some other books from Stranger's Fanzine. Hopefully I said content warning at the beginning of the video like I should, but I know that this one's got some some stuff in it, but really cool looking. I don't know anything about this creator. It reminds me of a lot of the stuff coming out of Europe right now from like from Hollow Press or the Mansion Press, Hollow Press in Italy or the Mansion in France. But yeah, really cool looking. So this, yeah, Disco Levente. Who is the creator? Yeah, yeah, this one was new to me. So okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah. So Garish, I believe, is the creator. Okay, gotta press on. Manning Co. We've had some of their comics before. I also think published by strangers. But these look really fun. Just a collection of short comics. Sucker for this format. Just following like, you know, cast of characters or handful of characters around. So pretty cool. And then finally from strangers, we've got Dead Knots. I really like the way this one, there's like the, you know, I always hear the phrase spotted blacks, but it's like the, whatever this is printed, like the photocopy paper or whatever, I don't actually know how it's printed, but it's just really satisfying. It reminds me of old photocopied comics, but then it's got like this nice brown. So yeah, very, I don't know anything about this, but very attractive looking. Just really unique feel and look to it. So yeah, I don't know that creator either, but very exciting. So that's all this Strangers stuff. So we got Big Gorgeous Jazz Machine by Nick Francis Potter. This looks really beautiful. I really liked the Bianca Stone and Sam Alden, like, what do you call that, pull quotes or whatever. And yeah, this looks like a really creative collection of sort of, you know, different types of like prose and, you know, I guess just like experimental comics, but there's some stuff that's like, yeah, more like easier to follow or more linear, and then there's stuff that's like more like abstract or just evocative. So, but pretty cool, very beautifully printed book. Yeah, pretty exciting. Yeah, Nick reached out to us about carrying that, so thank you, Nick, for getting in touch. Thanks for making my job easier. So very excited to get these two in. We're big fans of Ashton Trujillo. We restocked his excellent Lost World comic. This thing really blew me away. Shout out Andrew from earlier for putting me on this. But yeah, it reminded me of like one of those like kind of like narrative-driven video games, or like story-driven, like, oh man, what is that game called? Like Real Home, Gone Home, where you're like exploring a space and sort of just getting like the narrative from the characters. I'm doing a really bad job with this flip through, but yeah, it's like, yeah, loop of nature sounds plays softly from a speaker, and then you're like with, you know, and then getting like the experience with the character and then like their thoughts and stuff. So very cool comic, very beautiful, very creative. I was really blown away by that one. So happy to have that back in stock. But the new stuff, for us anyway, this was fun. So like Pip Craighead and Ashton did a little swap where like Ashton wrote this one and Pip drew it, and then vice versa for this one. This one is like a comic. So it's like them just like telling a story, and then there's like little like, you know, examples of the thing, which I thought was really creative, like just a funny way to like, you know, like punctuate stuff with like the the imagery or whatever. And then this one is more like a short story with spot illustrations or whatever. So this one Ashton drew and then Pip wrote. So it's like they swapped. I thought that was like pretty cool. I like that feeling of like, you know, community or camaraderie when you see people like collaborating like that. So then it's like pretty much we're just in it. We got 3 new like comics or small press zine stuff. So Bubbles is 13 issues of Bubbles so far. Congratulations, Brian. This is like just one of the best things to happen to small press in a while. I mean, Bubbles and Strangers, just I've been really depressed about a lot of the my favorite publishers closing, like Koyama and Ad House and Piao, and a bunch of others. But the developments of like Bubbles Fanzine and Strangers has helped deal with that blow. But so this is I haven't read this yet, but man, I'm just super excited about this. I mean, everyone promised in here. I'm a huge fan of. I cannot wait for this Joseph Smith biography book from Noah Van Sciver. I mean, that should be just insane. It's like just huge. This has like 20 pages, like it's like a preview, but it's like unused pages, I guess. Alex Graham, I mean, they're like one of my favorite. That Dog Biscuits comic was just like phenomenal. I'm still following them on Instagram every day, just with bated breath, waiting for their next comic. This was like one of the best, if not the best looking comic I've ever seen. Like just the whole package, like probably one of the most beautiful, or like that most recent thing that they did. And then Joe Kessler, I mean, just incredible. So, oh look, it's like tipped in or whatever. So, which will be a nice, we'll have another little tipped in thing in a second. So 20 unused pages, interview with Noah, there's always comics. I gotta get my ad running in this thing again. I did it a couple times and I just keep forgetting to like, I gotta just make it like, automatic, like just always put something in there. So super cool. Love this zine. Amazing. Got the new issue of Broken Pencil. The magazine of zine culture and the independent arts. Food zinesters set the table. So this is another really cool thing. I mean, just a huge, so 2022 Zine Awards, enter April 15th, BP Zine Store. So they're based out of Canada. I don't know how their shipping works. I know that they have some of their stuff shipped here to help out with shipping and whatnot. But really important, great resource. If you're interested in small press comics or zines, definitely add this to your, subscribe. Really amazing. So really appreciate what they do. They also do at least help sponsor the Fanzine Fest, which I don't know if that's happened the last couple of years because of COVID, but hopefully that'll be back up soon. So these came out like maybe last week, maybe the week before, but our copies showed up late. So High Fructose, New Contemporary Art Magazine number 62. Wow, 62 issues of this. So we normally only order like 1 or 2 of these, but we went a little heavy on this one because it has a tipped-in copy of The Frog Wife by Ryan Heshka, which is a pretty amazing comic. I bought this when it came out. My friend Ryan Besh put me on this, and I reach out to Ryan Heshka every once in a while to see if he'll wholesale, and he does sometimes, but just every time we've reached out to him, he was like, "Oh, I'm not currently wholesaling." So, but if you missed this comic from 2019, totally worth the cover price of $11.95 just for this comic. Super good and hard to get. I know that he did a couple printings of it, but so this is like a cool art magazine, always worth checking out to you know, learn something new, see some cool stuff with your eyeballs. But yeah, that's all the small press stuff. So I spent a little longer on that than I meant to, but whatever, right? For our single issue comic books this week, our direct market comic books, we've got Jim Rugg's Hulk Grand Design, issue 1 of 2. As I'm sure I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we will have Jim Rugg here April 16th, 2022 at Gutter Pop Comics, along with cartoonist Nate Garcia signing books. So make sure to stop by. And if you're unfamiliar with Jim's work, this is a fine place to start. If you're interested in the Hulk or Marvel Comics, definitely pick this up. And if you're just interested in like cool, colorful action comics or like just like creative page layouts or creative design elements in comics, this is highly recommended. It kind of reminds me of Jim's Super Mag, where he did this comic book I really liked where he just employed a bunch of different styles and kind of like, did his own little, walk through of like his, different things that he finds interesting, like different types of drawing styles and genres of comics that he really appreciates. So I really related to that comic when it came out, just because, you can tell the way that the story is curated, that we really like lots of different types of comics and appreciate the variety in which you can express yourself through this medium. And so I've always really enjoyed Jim's work and appreciated it. And I'm really psyched. I got to read this comic on my little dinner break, and I had a blast. So definitely recommended. Again, if you're into the Hulk, awesome. If not into the Hulk, it's just sort of a love letter to comics history. So very cool. So we'll just get through the all the new releases. I'm not going to spend a ton of time. So we get so many comics each week, I can't really talk about these in great detail. This is a new, Sean Murphy has been doing the White Knight series. This has been a really great series, and now he's bringing the Batman Beyond character into it, so that's really exciting. But if you follow our Instagram or our Facebook, you'll see what we get in each week. This was really cool, written and drawn by Jock. This is issue 2, but very, very cool. New Astro City out this week. So after a long hiatus, we've got Kurt Busiek back at it. Just a very celebrated comic, again, kind of celebrating superhero history and tradition. So I got my comics out of order. Oh no, but I guess it doesn't matter. You guys don't care if it's in alphabetical order or not. New Something is Killing the Children. Where am I going to put these? This is a fun one-shot. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the official movie prequel. So I know got a lot of... I just thought this cover was cool. I just really like it for some reason, but it rules. New Captain Marvel. So yeah, so I'm not trying to talk about these as much, just sort of mention what I've got. You guys can see what the new issues are, but maybe a better way to do this is to follow our Instagram, follow our Facebook, where each week we post in great detail. Follow our newsletter. You can go to gutterpopcomics.com, check that out. So yeah, I don't know. This is my first time just kind of going through. It was a light week. It's the end of the month. So I thought, normally I don't go through everything. I just pick a few highlights. But I thought I would try it this week. And I think I can get it under 5 minutes. So that's pretty cool. So maybe that'll just be how we do it from now on. And then if I see anything of note. Final issue of Spider-Woman. Issue 2 of Step by Bloody Step. It's a cool first issue. I think there's something weird with this one. I'm glad. I love Juniba, sorry. I was thinking Junji Ito. Got it totally flipped. But yeah, cool cover. But this is a second printing of Thor 20. War on Earth 2 of 3. Peter Milligan, Michael Laura Allred back on X, using those characters again, pretty fun. New X-Men book, Immortal X-Men, Unlimited X-Men. This was kind of neat. This is, I didn't know Ashley Wood was going to be doing a new comic. So Zombies vs. Robots Classics. Oh, I wonder if this is, okay, well now I'm, you know, it's my quote unquote show, so I can do whatever I want. I don't know what this is. So, Zombies vs. Robots is back, and now it's all ours. Okay, so pretty cool. Ashley Wood. Wow. Yeah, this is really cool looking. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's glad I flipped through that, and then I think I had pulled a few things aside to flip through before I decided last second to like flip through everything. So I've really been enjoying this series. The last session, this is like a cool all ages D&D book, but I really like it, and I'm really glad that yeah, that they're publishing that. I can't wait for the trade. I feel like it'll do better for me in the collected edition. I wanted to take a flip through this. Season of the Bruja. That's like witch, you know. It's like Season of the Witch. You get it? Sorry, I didn't mean it. It sounded snarky. I didn't mean for it to be snarky. I think that's awesome. But this looks like a really cool, all ages, like, you know, young adult kind of thing. Looks really good to me. Illustrated in color by Sarah Solar. I like the drawing. But yeah, really cool. So psyched about that one. That looks like a cool, like, middle grade, young adult thing. I was excited for this, but I don't recall why. Did you hear how professional I sounded at the beginning of the video? I was like, you know, Jim Rugg will be here April 16th, and now I'm like, just like totally falling apart, but that's fine. Everyone has stopped this part of the video already. So yeah, I can't remember. Maybe who, it looks cool. I just don't remember what it was about this one that had me excited. Maybe it's because Stephanie Phillips contributes to it and I follow her work. She spent some time in Buffalo, and so that gave me a hook to check her work out, and it's really good. So okay, I don't know. Yeah, so it looks sharp. Looks like a bunch of Wonder Woman. I like this kaiju, but yeah, I don't remember what it was. Something really had me, I'd made a note to pull that. And then lastly, I mean, I just thought this is a variant cover. I didn't pull any of the other variant covers, but I love a little video game homage cover. Okay, that might have been it. Well, as a little treat, since I went a little long, we were able to there was like another warehouse find. We had found a bunch of oversized Tales from the Crypts #1, but Diamond had a bunch of these like smaller Tales from the Crypt #1s, so we were able to stock up on these in their beautiful like newsprint, like saturated glory. It's like if you find an super old one of these, like, so what was it, like, well, it says 70, this is a 91 reprint. I don't know when this was originally published, but it's just like, you know, like, you want this feel, like the pages, you know, like you want the fading and like the overprinting, but then you don't want the like musty basement smell. You know what I mean? Like, I don't personally enjoy that like moldy, like old comic smell. I'm sure for some people that's like a, you know, that's awesome, but for me, not a fan. I got to talk to Sammy Harcum once at, I want to say that was like Cake, and he was like, "Oh, I don't buy used comics because what if they were read on the toilet?" And it like blew my mind. He was just like, "Yeah, like that's disgusting. Like they were probably read on the toilet. Like I'm not gonna buy a used comic book." And I was like, I don't know, you know, he might have just been trying to be funny, but yeah, it's just like the opposite of every collectory person I know. Like everybody wants the genuine article. So, all right, so that's our weekly comic books. So professional. All right, for our graphic novels, trades, well, really any square-bound book this week. So we're going to condense our kids' books and our manga and anything else in here, just because it's the end of the month and there's not a ton of stuff, but still some really cool stuff, including Killer Queens. So this is like a really fun, romp through, like kind of Flash Gordon pulp, but with some some queer-centered characters, and yeah, just like a really fun homage to like the fun, silly space adventure stuff. So very, very cool. Killer Queens in this week. Savage Hearts. I really like Aubrey Sitterson. I've really enjoyed their action comics that they've written. I feel like they really get, they really know how to like do action. And this comic, yeah, the person who drew it, yeah, Jed Doherty, sorry, really nailed it. And just like these really dense, like just really, yeah, like great fight scenes, great like just like packed to the gills kind of, yeah, like just a really cool action comic. So Savage Hearts, very cool. In the Flood. So I know Ray Fox. I don't know these other folks, but Ray usually does like really cool, like kind of cerebral stuff. So I know this is like some sort of like, it's like a couple who's been separated by some sort of natural disaster. Like, I don't know if it's supernatural or not. I get the impression that it is, and it's kind of like, there's something going on. But yeah, so pretty cool, really interesting construction, but it's like, okay, the rain is not what it seems. So yeah, I don't know, really cool looking. So for manga, Sheeply Horned Witch Romy. This looks like a fun, silly fantasy thing. Do humans dream of post-apocalyptic sheep? Pardon the pun, but seems pretty horny. But I did really like the drawing. It's like got this like chunky line quality that I don't always see. Let me see if I can find it. Like, I don't know if it's really I don't know if you can really pick it up if the camera is really picking it up. But yeah, it's like there's usually like a more scratchy, like a lot of Japanese comics, like I feel like the nibs that they use, yeah, which is interesting. There's like a drawing here where they're using like a nib. But yeah, this is like somehow, it might all just be digital for all I know, but it's just got like this cool, like kind of organic line that's like, yeah, real chunky that I find I just think it's really cool looking. So I don't know anything about the story. It looks like, fantasy and, but yeah, the art's really cool. It might be real stupid, but speaking of stupid, I mean, this is like just a dumb, like a fun, dumb comedy thing. Like, like dude likes girl likes unicorns, dude gets turned into a unicorn, really pushing it. Whereas I feel like this is just an unmitigated work of genius. So, I mean, I Am a Cat Barista. When you see that title, you're like, what's the maximum number you'll let me order? 7 Seas publisher. So yeah, genius, elevates the medium, brilliant. Not a lot of kids or young adult stuff this week. This green E, I believe, stands for everyone. But I flipped through this. It's pretty violent, but not any more so than like a Marvel movie or whatever. So probably like middle grade is fine, like 8 to 12. But yeah, maybe for fans of the Dragon Prince or other just like high fantasy D&D stuff. But yeah, cool cover. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to read this one, but fantasy adventure for a younger audience. And then this one, I couldn't gauge it looks like it's maybe like, yeah, young adult YA, but I did like the color palette a lot. It had this like cool, it reminded me of another Boom book, we only find them when they're dead, which I thought had really creative color. But this looks like a cool fantasy sci-fi action thing. But yeah, good luck with that one. Whoops, dropped my notes. So yeah, to finish this out, I mean, these are mostly reprints. Astro City, Metro Book 1. So I'm pretty psyched that publishers are kind of figuring out that maybe customers are getting a little burned out on the traditional like trade price point, which is normally like 5 or 6 issues for $20. But this is like 18.5 issues for $30, which I think is a way better deal. And just a more satisfying, thing to collect, like a tome. You get more, it's just a better, these things go by so quick and it's so expensive collecting comics. So, but this is like a pretty important superhero work. This was like folks in the 90s kind of doing a realistic take on superheroes, but not a like really bleak, negative, dark one like Brat Pack or like Rick Veitch or Mark Millar or something where they would really go dark on the superheroes. This was still like just adding some nuance and some, like more realistic stuff, but also kind of keeping the fun, silly, pulpy nature of superheroes. So pretty important work. Astro City, back in print. They just started the issues up again. There's a new issue out this week, so perfect timing. Good job, Image Comics. That is a great synchronicity there. Reprint, get the old stuff back in print with the new issue. Volume 5 of these Conan reprints. I think Conan can be real fun. I do like John Buscema a lot. And yeah, so like, these can be really hit or miss, but when they hit, they're like, oh man, they rule. So very fun, just like, I mean, it's Conan, what else am I going to say? Roy Thomas and John Buscema. And then I don't really totally know what's going on, but I think Brian Michael Bendis is moving a lot of his creator-owned work over to Dark Horse. So he's moved publishers quite a bit, but this is like, Michael Gaydos, Pearl. It's like kind of a noirish crime drama. So like a hit person. So volume 1 back in print. And then we got this big, don't be fooled, this is not issue 39 of X-Men, and don't worry, that look does not last very long. But you get all these X-Men issues in this big tome. So this is back in print. This is like issues 32 through 66, plus a couple other bonus things, like some odds and sods. But $125 gets you a bunch of X-Men. Psyched that is available again. And then these are always super cool. This is actually new in this edition. So like, if you come into the store, you'll see a bunch of these like big $100, $150 hardcovers that are scans of the original artwork. And they print them in these like cheaper $40 soft covers. And while they're not, quite as impressive because they're certainly reduced in size, you still get to see all of the like cool process stuff, like the whiteout or the construction of the stuff. You get to see, obviously John, he wanted to sell the shiny chrome dome, so had to make an adjustment. Too many lines on there or something. But yeah, these are just beautiful, and I just love that they keep. These are called the artisan editions, and as opposed to the big hardcovers, which are called artist editions. I think each publisher calls it something different, but yeah, really beautiful stuff. I mean, just stunning. This guy is just one of the great comic book, like whatever classic comic book artists, and just seeing yeah, I mean, it's the closest us plebes will ever get to seeing this stuff like in person. So very cool. Awesome. So that's pretty much all of the, like, you know, books and stuff. Almost goofed it. So almost missed this collection that just came out. 3 collections of Batman comics that inspired the movie The Batman. So we could have used this a couple weeks ago, DC, but thank you anyway. Have been selling a lot of these, and we've not been able to get Ego back in stock. So for a lot of folks, this might be the ticket, all 3 of them. But incredible, you know, classic stuff. So happy to get those in the shop for sure. All right, moving on. All right, so got some toys in this week. Got to talk about my best buddy, Mutagen Man. So I had the old figure of this when I was a kid, and there was like water in this thing. So gross looking, right? So like, what a weird design. But yeah, so Super 7's been doing these like, you know, like sort of retro. So yeah, we're at wave 4, so we're like already feeling like we're maybe getting a little niche. I saw that our Slash didn't show up. Isn't that a bummer? Definitely ordered all 4 of these, but we did get Mondo Gecko. So, but you know, you gotta get big boy Slash, the original 5th turtle. What is this? So we got this big old Autobot Bumblebee. So he comes apart, super cyborg, the X-ray action figure. Get to see all the guts inside. X-ray chest. Removable blaster. In the Transformers movie, there's this part where like Unicron and Galvatron, like, well, I guess Unicron is like disassembling all the, so because I was such a little goody two-shoes as a kid, I would constantly say stuff to like my grandfather or people, my parents who were stuck watching these like cartoons with me, and I would just try and always make it seem like what I was watching wasn't total garbage or junk. So like they would get to the scene where like Unicron takes all the like these like damaged Decepticon characters and like they remold them or something, and they strips them down to this point, and then it's like in the movie, and I would say something so dorky like, you know, actually if you pause this, you could like build your own Transformer. So I think it's pretty cool that we're watching this. Like I feel like I'm learning a lot. Just like basically lie, like just trying to sell them. You know, I was always constantly worried that like at any moment all this stuff would be taken away from me. It's like my parents would find a, you know, cassette or a CD with a swear in it or some horrible lyric, and then but they were cool, you know, they just wanted to talk to me about that stuff. They were just doing good parenting. But yeah, I was always a little panicked that at any moment I could lose it all. So I remember this feeling of trying to convince. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, these Final Fantasy level up stats. I'm learning multiplication and stuff. Batman, the multiverse Batman from McFarlane Toys. There's our guy. Whoops. There goes the. I didn't keep him in good, like in a good distance. So there's the Pred, an exquisite mini with the open mouth. The Jungle Pred. Huh. I like him. I think he's cute. Well, I did a bad job as far as like where I could reach these, but so we got Yennefer from the Itcher. Sorry, it's pronounced the Vitcher. It's two V's. And then we got, damn, Spike Lee, the man. I don't know, was that? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I really did a bad job of where to put those. So I'm looking around, see no more toys. I see no more things to talk about. Join us April 16th for Jim Rugg and Nate Garcia. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hope you learned something. All right, thanks so much, y'all. Take care. Jeez, Louise, come on.